Alright guys, it's Ira here, and this is not a video by me, but it's by my mate in my team, Adam, aka Can't Stop the Chop. Basically he makes Warrior PvP videos also. He's just started a new YouTube, so make sure you go check him and subscribe. So yeah, that's all really. I hope you enjoy the video. He's a great warrior, he's the main warrior on our team, and that's why I play Guardian and he plays Warrior. And so yeah, watch it, like, subscribe to him, and like the video if you do like it. I'll speak to you guys later.
Hey guys, it's Can't Stop the Chop, and today I'm going to show you my build video since I've had quite a few messages about it, and Ira's had a few with him using it in his latest video, so if you want to see it in action again, you can go watch his video as well. But anyway, this build is a hammer and shout build, and pretty obviously hammer's your main weapon, and for my offset I like to use the sword and shield. I've gone with the sword pretty much for the mobility and the immobilize that comes with it, because I think they're both really good, and I think they bring a lot more to the table than what the mace or the axe could offer with this build. So the flurry is just a 4-second immobilize, which is pretty strong in a team fight or if you're point defending, since this build is pretty tanky as well. So if you're point defending, you can line this up with a trebuchet on Kylo, and you can probably easily immobilize 2 or 3 people and get them caught in a treb shot, which is obviously going to help you with the point defense. And in a team fight, mobilize someone for your team to burst them down. Savage Leap, just great for mobility, which the build kind of lacks without it, I think. Obviously, hammer skills, pretty good. You got your 2 knockdowns, and well, your other one's a knockback in fact, but yeah, that's where a lot of your damage is going to come from, is using those 2 and then attacking people while they are knocked down. And the weakness on your second ability is just amazing as well to stop those burst builds coming in and destroying your team. Obviously Earthshaker got nerfed since the beta, but still 2 seconds stun is pretty good, and with this build you're going to be running with a Triac that gives you 50% more crit chance while people are stunned, so yeah, that's where a lot of your damage comes from. For healing, using Mending, because I think it's probably the best heal that warriors actually have. You know, heal a decent amount and cures 2 conditions on a 25-second cooldown. Can't really ask for much more, since you use your adrenaline quite a lot, so healing surge isn't really that good for this build. For utilities, using for Great Justice, since 30 seconds of Might and 10 seconds of Fury are really good for your team, and you know, you're going to have 6 stacks of Might most of the time, since the cooldown's up before you actually run out. For my second utility, I actually use On My Mark, since 10% extra damage for your team on whoever you pick out is really strong. It's on quite a short cooldown as well with this build. From a third, Shake It Off, team condition removal, and also breaks a stun. Pretty strong ability again on a really short cooldown with this build. For my elite skill, I actually run with Signet of Rage most of the time, so I like to be selfish, because let's face it, 40 seconds of Might, Fury and Swiftness on a 60-second cooldown is just amazing. Though on maps like Legacy of the Foe and Kylo, sometimes I will run Balance Stance at the start just to get the team fight off, pretty much. So this ability is just amazing for getting the stomps and revives off that your team will need at the start in Legacy, and sometimes I'll swap my elite out for the banner, just again for the team fight, since obviously if your team goes down you need to get them back up, so you make sure you get the middle point. But anyway, we'll move on to the Triacs and runes and things now. So basically running with 6 soldier runes at the minute, just because of the condition removal on a shout. So instead of just having to Shake It Off, every shout you run with will remove a condition, which is pretty powerful. Especially with this, Shake It Off will actually remove 2 conditions instead of 1 now. For my sigils, I run with quickness on my sword and my hammer, just because quickness is just stupid at the minute. It is actually overpowered. If your quickness procs on your hammer when you use your Earthshaker ability, you're probably going to kill them. And on my shield I run with Hydromancy, just because chill is actually a really strong condition. You know, 66% less movement speed and 66% cooldown on whatever abilities they use. My amulet, I'll run with Berserkers, and with the Berserker Jewel as well, just for the extra crit chance, since without it you're only running about 9% crit, which is too low for this build to actually do any damage. So when you actually do have someone stunned, you're going to be having almost 90% crit chance. So you're going to be critting pretty much all the time with that. Though if you're on point defense, you might want to swap it out for a Soldier's Amulet, just for to make that the build a little bit more tanky, since then you run with 30k health and almost 2k toughness. Then, yeah, with Berserker's Amulet you're down to 26k and 1.2k toughness. For the Triats, going to them, I'm running 0, 10, 20, 30, 10. 10 in arms, pretty much bleed on crit, just a little bit extra damage there, and 50% crit chance against stunned people, which that is where most of your damage will actually come from, using Earthshaker and then just going to town on them. In defense, reflecting missiles when you're blocking, which is really good. You know, someone comes in, pops all their cooldowns, like a ranger for example, you're just going to reflect it all straight back at them. And hammer damage increased by 25% when the foe is disabled, and reduced cooldown on hammer skills. Since most of your damage comes from your hammer, this is just pretty much a no-brainer. Disables pretty much your knockdowns and your Earthshaker. For tactics, I've got 30 in that, so Leg Specialist is 1 second immobilize on your cripple skills. So you've got an AoE cripple on your hammer, so you can actually get an AoE immobilize off of there, which is extremely powerful in a team fight, and really good for reviving people, you know, knock them back into the immobilize, and you're pretty much guaranteed to get that revive off. Next one, Shout. Cooldowns are reduced by 20%. Obviously that brings for great justice and Shake It Off to 20 seconds, and On My Mark to 24, so you pretty much got really short cooldowns on these, and that just makes the build that much better. And obviously Shout build won't be complete without Shout healing. My Shouts heal for about 1.8k each in this build with this setup, so you know, it heals everyone on your team that's within range, so that's quite powerful as well. And then in Discipline, let's go for using the Shouts. It gives me adrenaline, since if you use all three, got like basically 2.5 bars of adrenaline, so you can instantly get an Earthshaker off. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the build. For runes though, if you don't really like Soldier, you can run with Divinity instead, just for that extra damage on your stun, since it's 10% more critical strike damage, which is quite good, but I prefer running with this just for the extra bit of tankiness. Or you can switch it out for the Ogre rune, so you get the power and the Rock Dog and the flat damage increase from that. But yeah, go check out this build, you know, go try it out. It's a really fun build to play, really tanky, and you can do some awesome damage with it. Really good burst, and just really support your team with it. You know, it's an awesome build to run with, and I'll be running it in pretty much all the tournaments. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you next time.